The list is endless, and that's why you come here. Erickson's Landscape Supply, right on Spring Street in Union Grove, where you'll find a fantastic array of artisanal metal yard art. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Or better yet, drive on over and take a gander at the goods.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Tonight, the Brewers are in Anaheim to take on the Los Angeles Angels.
And a fly ball to center. This is unloaded. It is back and tie game.
Our coverage of the game begins tonight at 8:03. On your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 101 and 91 degrees in Milwaukee today. Mostly sunny, hot, and humid, too. We have a high of 95 today. We could see a record high. Heat index, it's going to feel closer to 100 due to the humidity. Tonight, mainly clear and muggy. We're only going to get down to 73. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Ty. A date is now set for the trial of a Whitnall Middle School teacher accused of possessing child pornography and uploading the images to Google Photos. Ryan Craig faces 2 felony counts of possession of child pornography. He was bound for trial this morning. Court documents show investigators were able to match the IP address of the Google accounts the photos were uploaded through to Craig's home address. Craig faces up to 50 years in prison if convicted on both counts. His arraignment is set for July 8th. The Wauwatosa School District will consider a proposed $60 million referendum today. It's aimed at bringing their elementary schools into compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The referendum is part of a bigger proposal that includes plans to close both Whitman and Longfellow middle schools. 6th graders would then be moved to elementary schools, while 7th and 8th would relocate to the district's 2 high schools. The superintendent has called for the middle schools to be closed within 5 years. Firefighters in Los Angeles County are battling a 15,000-acre wildfire that broke out on Saturday and forced evacuations in the mountains north of L.A.
With red flag fire warnings in place, the biggest issue again today is the wind, pushing the flames, causing the fire to explode in size over the weekend. LA County Fire's Craig Little.
One of the key factors that we have that are playing into the severity of this fire are the heavy wind situation right now.
The wind should begin to die down later tonight, and some relief could be coming heading into Tuesday. Alex Stone, ABC News in northern LA County.
There's reason for concern as international tensions rise.
The world's 9 nations that have nuclear weapons continue to modernize their stockpiles as they deepen their reliance on the weapons as a deterrent. That's according to a Swedish think tank, which says we haven't seen nuclear weapons play such a prominent role in international relations since the Cold War. China is believed to have some nuclear warheads on high operational alert for the first time. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
The owner of a popular brewery and restaurant in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood filed for bankruptcy days after its abrupt closure earlier this month. Federal court records show company brewing owner George Bregar filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy proceedings May 31st with business debts just over $1.8 million. Company announced its abrupt closure May 29th, just weeks after its 9th anniversary party. The brewery's online web store is still live this afternoon, offering $1 canned beer purchases for pickup. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything is in the green on this Monday afternoon. That's good. The Dow is up nearly 193 points to 38,781. S&P 500 is up 51 points to 5,482. And the NASDAQ is also up. NASDAQ up 231 points to 17,919. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sunny and limited. WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
The Vollrath Company implemented a DocuWare content management solution from James Imaging Systems. Vollrath Director of Information Systems, John Sharp.
They've helped us upgrade from a previous version of our document management to automate our accounts payable processes, to store the invoices to the three-way match, and really streamline those processes.
In addition to a DocuWare content management solution, the key to continued success is the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
And And as an extension of our team, they've got intimate knowledge of why we've done some of the things that we do. And when we run into any issues, they're there to support us.
A DocuWare content management solution from the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
They know exactly where we are in our project cycle so that we've always got continuous improvement.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for J.D. Griffiths. It was time for us. Our house was 20 plus years old, and the garage doors were getting dated. They were dinged up, and they were really hurting the value and the look of our house. That's why we called J.D. Griffiths, a local company. They've been at it in Milwaukee for more than 70 years, providing premier garage doors and building detached garages. We've got our new doors now, and they pop. I still got neighbors talking to me about it. Now, J.D. Griffiths does have an exclusive offer right now for you, the WTMJ listener. With any purchase of a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. Just call 414-362-7222 and mention me, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead, or fill out the form at jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ to schedule your free at-home estimate and claim your deal. That number again, 414-362-7222. J.D. Griffiths.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers are in California tonight for the first of three against the Angels. Our coverage starts at 8 p.m. right here on WTMJ. Tonight in Boston, Game 5 of the NBA Finals, the Celtics hold a 3-1 series lead over Dallas. And Bryson DeChambeau has won the PGA's U.S. Open for the second time, just narrowly defeating Rory McIlroy for the title on Sunday. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. I-41-94 South in the Oak Creek area. 41-94 South beyond Rawson Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash there. A couple disabled vehicles out on the system, too. The ramp from 94 North to 119 East. Right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle there. That's a newer one. And also, if I look on 94, 4394 beyond the ramp from Beecher Street, the left shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down in that spot.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Basically hot and humid. Today, mostly sunny, hot and humid. We have a high of 95 today, which if we get there, that'll be a record for Milwaukee. Heat index 98. Tonight, mainly clear and muggy, a low of 73. Tomorrow, pretty much the same, mostly sunny, hot and humid. We do have just the slightest chance for thunderstorms. High of 92 tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, partly cloudy, very warm though, still humid. Chance of thunderstorms on Wednesday as well. We have a high of 82. Thursday, partly cloudy, chance of thunderstorms, high of 80 by the lake, 86 inland. Friday, partly cloudy, hot and humid, slight chance of thunderstorms, a high of 90. Right now in Racine, it's 92 degrees, 88 in Mequon, and 91 in Milwaukee. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:08.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Good afternoon. Coming up today, there are new federal mandates for a minimum staffing standard for nursing homes, which on its face seems like a good thing because there is a close link between staffing levels and quality of care for residents. But what are some of the unintended consequences for this new rule for nursing homes in Wisconsin? Plus, the DOGG was in the MKE and called a little bit of the GAME. Right? Do you understand any of that, Brian?
I got all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to, after 2 o'clock, we're going to spin around the state with stops in Madison, Fenimore, Milwaukee, and Nina will also talk about National Mascot Day. And we will talk with the president of the Wisconsin State Bar about a attorney shortage that is hitting parts of the state really, really hard.
Another shortage.
Yes, another shortage.
Got two workforce shortages stories today.
That's all, between politics and shortages, that's all we're going to be all we discussing.
That's what
this
the show
program.
now is. Yes. All right. Well, are you familiar with? How good are you at separating what's important versus what's urgent when it comes to work?
I think having done this for as long as I have, I'm pretty good at figuring out what's important versus what's urgent.
Okay. I would say I'm more reaction. I'm sometimes, the important stuff, sometimes I'm good at procrastinating against because I put too much importance on it. And I'm like, oh, I need to do this really well. And so I respond to the urgent stuff really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the urgent stuff you try to get, urgent usually can get done pretty fast.
Yeah. And
then the important stuff takes a little longer. So it's depends on what comes across the table as what it's going to be.
Yeah.
If I'm going to pay attention, I know they both need to get done. All right, this one has to be done right now.
Yeah.
So I will take care of the urgent first.
But there was also then, especially when it comes to news or content, the important versus hot. The hot topic.
Well, sure. You got to have hot takes. If it bleeds, it leads. All the old sayings for news. It's, what is everybody talking about? Doesn't matter if it's the most important story. It's this is what everybody is talking about.
And what is everybody still talking about?
I don't know. In this horrible
later?
City, I don't know what it could be. You never know what people are talking about here. It's horrible.
I think every single show today on WTMJ is perusing through the talk and text line. I'm pretty sure most shows touched on it today.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, but it's also, Mayor Cavalier Johnson was on NBC defending the city. Morning Joe on MSNBC had a whole homage to Milwaukee. Jimmy Kimmel had jokes about it on his show. I actually really liked Jordan Klepper's. He talked about it on The Daily Show. Mm-hmm. And he said, hey, I may not be from Wisconsin, but I am from Michigan. And let me just say this. Don't mess with the Midwest, buddy. We will politely ask you to please stop and then thank you in advance. And that's a threat. And then he continued, honestly, though, how does Trump not like Milwaukee? The two main food groups there are sausage and cheese. A salad just means that the sausage has sauerkraut on it. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good. But the DNC has bought up 10 billboards. Have you seen any of them driving up and down yet?
Yes, I've seen there was one right as you come around the curve getting back onto 43 and 94, right a couple blocks from the studio.
All right.
A big one. So, yes, I've seen that one. I've seen the old ones with Epstein and Trump. I saw that one again this morning. So, yes, they wasted no time.
And then merch. I've seen lots of merch pop up on the social media as far as different hats and shirts that you can buy. But my bigger point is for how much this story has caught fire and how many headlines you can now see covering different angles of it.
Right.
Is it important?
No, because in the end, if I could go into a long, eloquent answer, but the short answer is no, it's not important. It's a comment that was made, and we still don't know. We know the comment was made. There's no doubt about that.
Well, now he's denying it.
Well, he's denying it, but everybody who was in the room said he did say it. But they're saying he said it there's a million different reasons, so it doesn't matter anymore. Yes, he said it. Yes, it's an easy headline. Yes, it's great for the Sunday morning shows to have somebody on. It's perfect fodder as his whole administration and pretty much any presidential administration is great fodder for late night comedy. So it's not important. It's the flavor of the moment. It's the hot, the hot take. Oh, look at how and it gets people in Milwaukee all riled up. It gets Democrats all riled up. It gets the Republicans chasing their tails trying to figure out how to spin it.
It gets people who don't like Milwaukee.
Right.
I also have seen that on the text line saying, well, he's right.
But you know what? If you don't like Milwaukee, I challenge you to move to any other major city and find a city that doesn't have the same problems Milwaukee does. Welcome to America. Welcome to urban living. This is how it is. So you have every right not to like Milwaukee. I don't know why. But that's fine. Go ahead. But yes, it's a nice little outrage piece that means it's full of flurry, it's full of bluster, and in the end, there's nothing inside of it.
Well, let us know. 855-616-1620. Do you think this is an important story, or is it just a hot story? And follow-up question, what would you prefer be the hot story? What is more important? And when we come back, I'll say the story from last week that I think is more important, that got way less coverage, but would also love to hear from you on the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. News time 1:15. This is Spanning the State.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Hey, boaters!
At Kendor Marine, we have everything you could want, think of, or wish for your boat. We're committed to making sure you always have a place to fulfill every boating need that you have. And if you ask around, you'll find out our prices always beat the other guys. This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Orion Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters!
This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. And hey, boaters love shopping here. How do I know? Well, most times it's because they tell me, Dave, I love shopping here. But other times it's because they tell you. If you need a reason to come here, just check out our online reviews. They tell the whole story. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Orion Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
It's Heiser's Super Summer Savings Event. We have new Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac vehicles. Let's make your summer plans way more fun. No matter your style, our Heiser consultants will streamline the process for you. That way, you can get back to enjoying road trips, barbecues, boating, and the rest summer has to offer. So stop in or shop online at Heiser.com. And remember, at Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Well, welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
And I'm Brian Noonan. And no surprise, the response that is already rolling in. I love that people, we don't know. We said we don't know in what context the comment was actually made. We know the comment was actually made. But certain people are sure that the comment was made for one reason only. The horrible city comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's hilarious. It's like, how do you know? Were you really there? So anyway, that's just yes. What were we talking about? The billboards, and if we care about the story, is this an important story? I
was asking if you thought this was an important story or not.
No.
Because I personally, I'm a very pro-Milwaukee person.
Sure.
And it never ceases to amaze me the kind of stories that feels like I don't think it's very consequential, and yet we've gotten about 5 days of news out of it. In contrast to me, so we're asking you, if there was, do you think the story is important and deserves as much coverage? 855-616-1620. And if not, what's another story you wish was getting more press and getting more attention on it because that you actually think is important? And I'll say mine is because on the same day that this story broke in the Senate, in the U.S. Senate, not here, in Wisconsin, but they all but Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins voted against, all Republicans voted against protecting the right to IVF. To me, when you think back when the Alabama Supreme Court had ruled that embryos are people and that IVF could be overturned, and then Alabama state legislature quickly moved because there was such a reaction to it. To me, I was surprised that was not a bigger deal because contraception, which Republicans had also blocked the week prior, 90% of women at some point in their life use contraception. Contraception, very nonpartisan, very popular. IVF, very popular. And what both of these bills were doing was basically codifying your right to access them so that individual states couldn't ban them and the Supreme Court couldn't overturn any kind of protection of them. To me, I'm a woman. I'm still of child for a couple more years. I'm still of childbearing age.
All right.
Those feel like really important stories that kind of got glossed over.
Of course. Well, one, they are really important stories. Two, a lot of people probably don't pay attention to them because they agree with that, they agree with that kind of control of a woman's body move that is happening a lot. And it doesn't catch fire. It doesn't get people angry.
But it did. But the Alabama story did earlier in the year.
I know, but it should make every woman and everybody who knows a woman angry. It doesn't. Calling a city horrible. Oh, we got to. I understand that's not right. I understand our priorities are skewed, but this is how it is. It was like the bump stock story to me was huge. Yeah. So they banned the bump stock after the Las Vegas shooting, which is still one of the deadliest shooting on American soil, and the bump stocks were banned. I'm not for taking people's guns. I'm pro Second Amendment. I defy someone to explain to me the purpose of a bump stock other than rapid fire killing. That doesn't mean you should take the weapon away that the bump stock is put on. But now they've taken that. The Supreme Court decided, it doesn't really turn it into a machine gun. Now, I don't claim to be a weapons expert, but I see the footage of the weapons going off with a bump stock. It seems a lot faster than it did when it was just a semi-automatic weapon. So, that story should have raised a lot of outrage, but we can't have a discussion about that because then you're trying to take away our guns. No, I'm trying to take away this piece of plastic that snaps on a gun and makes it easier for you to kill a lot of people faster. You want to have those weapons in your house, I'm not coming to get them. You can have them. But let's be honest about what certain things are for.
So that's your more important story that the Supreme Court overruling that?
It's more important than the Trump story?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the question. I'm asking, what's a more important story that you feel like should have gotten more press than outsized press that the horrible city comment has gotten? So let us know. 855-616-1620. We got a lot of text to get through that we'll get to on the other side of this, but if you want to give us a call, 855-616-1620. News time 122. This is Spanning the State.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson.
We're getting all 4 seasons, it looks like, in the span of just about 72 hours.
Entertainment.
His name's John Crimper.
I rode sheep when I was 3, and that's when it all started.
And more. Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
I'm Monica Kessler.
Monica makes sure that everything at Kessler's is worthy of a lifetime warranty.
The quality of your ring is incredibly important when it comes to diamond setting, ring sizing, and repairs.
Monica has been part of Kessler's since she was 6 years old.
Let me tell you how to judge the quality of the jewelry you're buying.
It's easier than you think.
All you have to do is read the warranty.
Most stores offer a 5-year warranty, but Kessler's offers a lifetime warranty, the strongest in the world.
We can do it because we put more gold in your jewelry.
When a jeweler wants to make a bigger profit, they put less gold into the jewelry. This makes it thinner and easier to break.
Theirs might look like ours at first glance, but Kessler's jewelry is made not to break, and that takes more gold.
We give you a lifetime warranty because our jewelry is made to last forever, just like your love.
Gold is more than $2,000 an ounce.
Kessler's gives you more gold, a lot more gold.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we do have something even sweeter. Open and use a Truestone checking account, and we'll give you up to $350 cash back. It's not exactly what the recipe called for, but $350 can buy you a lot of cookies. It's true, because we're Truestone. Learn more and sign up at truestone.org. Offer subject to terms and conditions. Recipient responsible for applicable taxes. Membership required.
At Fleet Farm,
We know every sunny day doesn't begin and end with us. But if it did, we've got you covered. Everyday fishing gear from Rapala, Berkeley, and Minn Kota. Everyday grilling goods from Weber, Kingsford, and Blackstone. Everyday camping gear from Coleman, Yeti, and Eureka. Whatever makes your day, we're right there with you. At Fleet Farm, we've got everything you need for everyday life.
It's Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry, and we are talking, I think we're trying to take a different angle at it, but what is a more important story to you that should have maybe gotten a little bit more coverage in comparison to the Milwaukee Horrible City story that is still going?
Still going.
And so my opinion was the fact that last week the Senate Republicans had voted to block the bill that was codifying the right to IVF. They wanted to pass a narrower bill. And so someone from the 414 said, I think it's important because it shows, no, not that one, asking what the...
Why they voted down.
And so what I understand is there was a narrower bill that would have stripped Medicaid funding away from states that banned IVF.
Okay.
To me, that feels like a shortstop from barring states from banning IVF. Yeah. But they, on its face, said, most Republicans said that they do support IVF. They just didn't want a bill that goes as far as this. Still, I think in the same thing with contraception, they were saying that no one's trying to take your contraception, so this is a scare tactic and we're not voting for it. But if no one's trying to take it, what's the harm in protecting it? Especially because that was one of the cases that Clarence Thomas said that maybe we should look at again. Just saying.
But then if you pass it, then you're tacitly agreeing with it and supporting it, and you're on record. And nobody wants to be on record because somebody can go back and check your record when you go on one of the Sunday morning shows and say the opposite. I never would have supported that. What about this bill? At the border, it's they'll spin whatever way they want. Anybody, and this is both sides. It drives me crazy.
All right, well, we got a couple calls on the line. We got James online. There we go. James, did you think this was an important story, the Horrible City, or is there a different story you think is more important that we should be covering?
Well, I think the horrible thing is it proved it out this weekend with all the shootings and kids getting injured and hurt and everything else. It's showing that there is a horrible amount of problems we have in the city of Milwaukee. We all know that, but I don't think it should have been pushed that way, But we all got our own problems. We all got our own things here, But I guess Donald Trump picked something out, and boy, he really wants to rile people up, I guess. But
it certainly has riled people up on both sides. And I agree with you. Listen, we can't ignore the issues that are happening in Milwaukee and assume that all the good stuff happens in a vacuum and just ignore the bad stuff. It's certainly a city with issues, and like Brian said, yes. Chicago has issues, New York has issues, urban areas that have poverty have issues, and so. But I don't think that makes us a horrible city.
No, it doesn't. But the way with the amount of the glare of with the amount of shootings and everything else, with the amount of crime and stuff like that, made us look like a horrible city. During 72 hours from Friday till today, or till last night. I mean, you just can't. It's a glaring fact. It's it could be you, it could be me, it could be even Brian. It could be one of the statistics of in the horrible city.
Now, may I wear a flak jacket all the time, James? Thank you for the call. This is, yes, James is right. All these shootings over the weekend, horrible. Again, it's every city. And listen, this means nothing. Let him call it he would have called any city a horrible city. That it means nothing. There's a lot more that we need to worry about, and that's the problem. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, leading up to November, we're focused on the wrong stuff.
All right, we got one more caller that we're going to take before we get to the news. Mike, do you think this is an important story, or what other story do you think we should be focused on?
Well, I don't think it's an important story. I think that I've listened to both sides, people who said they've been there, people who haven't said they've been there. I mean, the crime is a little scary in Milwaukee. I was born in Milwaukee. I was raised in Milwaukee. I went to the Milwaukee schools. But
You
then
got
I
about
moved
15
out,
seconds before I got to let you go, Mike.
And I work in the city, and it's a little scary sometimes. And I think that in the context of putting it together with other urban areas is not fair. We should want better.
Unfortunately, Mike, I got to
all
let
the
you go
time.
because we got to go to ABC News
All right.
and local headlines. Thanks so much for the call.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. America's largest population centers are bracing for dangerous heat as a heat dome settles over much of the country. In New York City,
the first heat wave of the season is here, and we are ready.
Mayor Eric Adams.
Cooling centers will be open starting tomorrow, and we expect to hit peak heat on Thursday and Friday, with the heat index possibly reaching 99 degrees.
And in the West, firefighters in Los Angeles County battling a 15,000-acre wildfire that broke out on Saturday, forced evacuations in the mountains north of L.A. President Biden meeting with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg at the White House today. This after Stoltenberg said today that a record more than 20 NATO member nations are hitting the Western Military Alliance's defense spending target this year. The U.S. Surgeon General Monday calling for a social media platform health warning for younger users over mental health concerns. This is ABC News.
Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:31. We have a very good chance of hitting a record with our heat today. The highest recorded temperature for this state in Milwaukee is 94 degrees. The forecasted high for today, 95. The added humidity will make it feel closer to 100. More than 260 million Americans will experience temperatures above 90 this week. Stay hydrated, limit time outdoors. You know the drill. Former UW lacrosse chancellor Joe Gow finds out this week whether he keeps his faculty status. Gow was removed as chancellor in December after the UW Board of Regents discovered that he and his wife created sex tapes and posted the content on porn websites. But Gow still has his tenured faculty status. UW lacrosse is holding a 2-day hearing starting Wednesday to decide whether there's just cause to fire Gow as a faculty member. The Wauwatosa School District will consider a proposed $60 million referendum today. It's aimed at bringing their elementary schools into compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The referendum is part of a bigger proposal that includes plans to close both Whitman and Longfellow middle schools. 6th graders would then be moved to elementary schools, while 7th and 8th would relocate to the district's 2 high schools. Time for news about your money. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Things still looking good right now across Wall Street. The Dow is up 230 points to 38,819. S&P 500 is up 53 points to 5,484. And the NASDAQ is up nearly 219 points to 17,907. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. And taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We do have a crash that's causing some issues. The crash is on the ramp from Beecher Street to I-43 94 South. I'm looking at the backups right now. You got backups starting around Bruce Street. Nationals backed up, Oklahoma. It is slow going. Just if you can, go a different way, right? If you're stuck in it, I apologize, but hopefully that gets cleaned up quickly. Once again, this is a crash on the ramp from Beecher Street to I-43 94 South. That's definitely causing a slowdown. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Mostly sunny, hot and humid. High at 95, heat index 98. Yep, like I mentioned earlier, going to feel closer to 100 today. Tonight, mainly clear and muggy. Our temp only going down to 73 overnight. Tomorrow, much of the same, mostly sunny, hot and humid. We do have a slight chance for thunderstorms tomorrow, high at 92. On Wednesday, partly cloudy, very warm and humid, another chance for thunderstorms, high of 82 on Wednesday. Thursday, partly cloudy, a chance of thunderstorms. Be a little bit cooler on Thursday, maybe getting you some relief, high of 80 by the lake, 86 inland. Friday, partly cloudy, hot and humid, slight chance of thunderstorms again, high of 90 on Friday, so it is going to be a hot week. It is currently 86 degrees in Sheboygan, 92 degrees in Sturtevant, and 91 in Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
It was a sobering headline. Social Security to run short by 2035. A possible 17% reduction in benefits. At Annex Wealth Management, we feel that Social Security is only one leg of the retirement stool, but it provides needed balance. It's time to stress test your retirement plan and move forward with guidance from the fee-only fiduciaries at Annex. Do it for you, your family, your legacy. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. It only takes a few minutes to get the ball rolling. Head to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Gadish Foundation and J&B Construction. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Universal Windows Direct. Super spacer technology. What does that mean? It helps keep the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer, makes the windows last up to 5 times longer than other window systems. So your windows from Universal Windows Direct perform better and last longer. Plus, Universal Windows Direct backs it up with a true lifetime warranty as long as you own the home. Updating your windows with Universal Windows Direct means extra protection from the elements, a consistent temperature in your home, increased energy efficiency, and reduced heating and cooling costs. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I told you to call. Get an additional $250 off your project. Go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying,
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
It's Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And as we said at the top of the show, it's not, I shouldn't say this with a smile, but I'm just saying it because it's a theme. It's a trend. It's a scary one across the board.
In all areas, it seems, in Wisconsin.
But this is one out of 2 stories we're doing today that's addressing staffing shortages, workforce shortages, in 2 different areas, industries. The first one we're talking about is back in healthcare, specifically nursing homes. And, but there's a few instances that different healthcare providers are now going to be breaking the law, federal law, if they have too many open vacancies.
Federal law. I guess it depends. Well, yeah. So
there's new federal rules that say that around staffing at nursing homes.
Okay.
And in Wisconsin,
that makes sense.
Yeah, because there's a link between enough,
staff
especially
and care.
Nursing aides and the care that people receive. Because if you imagine being in a nursing home, I know some of the stories from my family members. You can potentially, if there's not enough nursing aides, people sit there in a dirty linens
and they
get bed sores and when people who need more care. This is not an AI situation. Right. This is actual bodies of people who need to be in there and helping. So with this new federal mandate, most nursing homes in Wisconsin are going to need to hire more nurses or nursing aides to meet this new minimum staffing requirements. They're going to be phased in over the next few years. And I feel like on its face, this feels like a good thing. And maybe it's kind of the kick in the shorts that you need to, like, we are going to be out of compliance if we don't raise wages, if we don't have a better recruitment to get to meet these minimums.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when we talk to our guests, because I'm guessing that some of the pushback is going to be, well, there's not enough candidates. There's not are there not enough candidates, like you say, because there's pay discrepancies? Are more people just not going into that field? Mm-hmm. I thought nursing was one of those indestructible fields where if you were a nurse, you could work anywhere. And maybe that goes back to the pay and everything else. If I could go into a hospital setting and make X, or I could go into a nursing home facility and make Y, and X better, So it's going to be interesting to find out why this is happening. I guess I just worry that federal law, and if there's nothing they can do, if when we talk to our guest, and is it that there's nothing we could do, or things that, we could do, but we've been hesitant to do, and then the law part would make some more sense.
So when we come back, we are going to talk to Renee Eastman, who's the Vice President of Policy and Finance at Leading Age Wisconsin, which is a trade group that represents mostly nonprofit nursing homes across the state. So we will talk to her on the other side of this. This is Spanning the State.
Hey, boaters! This is Dave Dorrell from Kendor Marine. When you get here, you might be overwhelmed when you see so much stuff. But don't be, because our staff knows just where to find what you need. They're knowledgeable, friendly, and willing to help so that you can find everything you need to keep your boat in tip-top shape. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters!
We have the go-to marine store. And it's not just because we have all the boat parts and supplies you'll ever need, including oddball parts you thought you'd never be able to find. And it's also because we're cheaper than the other guys too. So why shop anywhere else? This is Dave Dorrell from Kendor Marine. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank, with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi!
Ask about our finance options.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And for the first time, the federal government has mandated a minimum staffing standard for nursing homes. And it's a move that resident advocates have been urging for decades because there's evidence that has shown a link between staffing levels and quality of care for residents. However, in Wisconsin, 3 in 5 nursing homes are going to have to hire more nurses in order to comply with the law. But what happens if they can't?
Yes.
So joining us now to talk through the ramifications of this new mandate is Renee Eastman, who's the Vice President of Policy and Finance at Leading Age Wisconsin. Welcome to the show, Renee.
Thanks for having me.
So can you just go over a little bit more detail about what the new requirements are and when they go into effect?
Sure. The new requirements require an RN to be on site at a skilled nursing facility 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They also require a certain number of hours per resident day of care. There's a specific standard for nurse aides, a specific standard for RNs, and then a total nursing standard that could be met with either RNs, LPNs, or CNAs. And all of those requirements, it's very complicated as federal regulations are, but starting in August, facilities are required to do an assessment of their staffing and begin preparing to implement the rule. And then the 24/7 RN requirement starts after that. And then urban facilities have to implement the requirements. And then finally, rural facilities have to implement the requirements. So it's a phased-in approach all the way through 2027.
We know patient advocates have been pushing for this for a while, Renee. Was there a tipping point, and what does it actually look like as far as patient care if there is not enough nursing on staff?
Well, certainly having quality nurses on staff and sufficient nurses on staff is very important to meeting residents' needs. Higher quality care and better availability of staffing means that people's call lights get answered sooner. They have more frequent opportunities to bathe, more frequent opportunities for community engagement and participating in activities, and lots of important things. I think the problem that providers see with the staffing mandate is in the parts of it that are mandated, and that there are other ways to meet those needs other than a one-size-fits-all approach.
And what are some of those other ways?
So technology is really something that needs to be looked at by having a greater ability to do remote patient monitoring, or have just recognize that the acuity level of one nursing home is one nursing home, and that a different nursing home in a rural area might not have the same staffing needs as a nursing facility that's a rehab facility right next to a hospital that has a very different type of patient.
So with this shortage, how are the facilities going to address that? What are they going to do to up their recruitment, or are there just not enough people to recruit?
Both. Nursing facilities have been upping their recruitment since before the pandemic, and even more after the pandemic. I think it's really frustrating for them to hear some of the rhetoric around the staffing mandate, because what we need to remember is that the people that work in nursing facilities, at the beginning of the pandemic, they were heroes, and they were revered for the work that they were doing. And a lot of what's been in the media since then has been negative about the quality of care that's provided. And with the shortage of nurses across the state, with the aging of the state, those are problems that are not going to go away. And we want to make sure the message is out there about the heroic work that's being done by long-term care providers, and how important it is for them to help older adults be successful in their communities and rehab and return home and live out their best lives.
Because what happens if a nursing home doesn't meet the new federal requirement? Like, what are the unintended consequences of this?
Certainly for rural facilities in particular, they're looking at closing. And what that means is that if you have a loved one who needs to be in a skilled nursing facility, they're going to be farther away from maybe their spouse, from their loved ones, from their communities that they've been a part of. And that's harder to have visitors, just a more sad situation overall. We've seen many nursing facilities in Wisconsin close in the last year, and it gets increasingly challenging every time. They have these relocation plans where they look to find placements for the residents, and it's just harder and harder to find good choices of where the most acute residents in particular can go.
Well, what would be a more effective policy change than this mandate? Because you said this is kind of a one size fits all. So what would help more?
Well, the 24/7 RN requirement applies regardless of facility size. So it would have been more helpful to allow LPNs to serve in that capacity. It certainly would have been more helpful to have just the hours per resident day, so that a 20-bed facility that's in a rural location doesn't have to have an RN on Sundays overnight when most of their residents are sleeping, the same as a 200-bed facility in the Milwaukee area would also only have to have a single RN over a Sunday night. Things like that to make it more specific to the residents that are living there and have that location as their home. That would have been more flexible, more in line with the current staffing standard, which is that a facility has to have sufficient staff to meet residents' needs. So we want to be held accountable for providing quality care. We certainly agree with the need to have sufficient staff, but the direct mandate in how to do that sometimes limits flexibility and could force providers into having to close.
And then how does recruitment look as far as, is there good effort right now as far as trying to find more people as these requirements come due?
Wisconsin has done some really great things. We have the WIS Caregiver Careers Program, which pays a bonus to anyone who goes through the CNA Certified Nursing Assistant course and completes the training. There's also referral bonuses for current CNAs who recruit people they know. There's also the Certified Direct Care Professional Program. So if people who don't necessarily want to go through the Certified Nursing Assistant course but want to help in other settings, there's bonuses available. We're doing a lot of work with refugees and looking at all sorts of routes to improve immigration. Certainly, raising pay is part of the equation, and providing more flexible schedules, greater opportunity to grow within the profession, a greater voice in the workplace. These are all things that providers are working hard
I would say
at
some of those sound really interesting
so.
as far as the refugees and immigration. That's maybe for a different day, though. But Renee, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Renee Eastman is the Vice President of Policy and Finance at Leading Age Wisconsin. News time 1:51. This is Spanning the State.
It's like playing baseball in the house
Mom, Dad broke the window.
without the risk of
Again.
that. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
You may think this is a bit odd.
Try me.
I've always been an arm girl.
Do you mean farm girl?
No, I said arm girl.
You're right. That's odd.
Some people are attracted to a person's eyes,
Hair color,
smile,
or kneecaps.
but I am a sucker for arms.
Well then, Penny Mustard has a sofa for you. Ah, yes, the Just Your Style 8000.
Oh, you know it.
The arms on the Just Your Style 8000 are as beautiful as they come.
Are arm piercings a thing? Because it totally works on this sofa.
American made with solid wood frame, individual seat springs, ultra high resiliency foam cushions,
And hundreds of fabric and leather options.
including pet and kid-friendly fabrics. So you really like arms, huh?
Especially forearms.
Really? Most people I know only have two. The Just Your Style sofa, starting at $23.69 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com. Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle until I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
This message is for the person who always gets asked to make the plans, the person others always go to for restaurant recommendations. Next time, you're the one expected to plan the next team outing or girls' night out. Let Milwaukee or Chicago Food and City Tours make those plans for you. Don't worry, you can still take the credit, but we'll handle the planning and make sure that everyone, including you, has a delicious time. You set the date, we'll handle the rest at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com or ChicagoFoodTours.com.
It's Spanning the State, where we have our mind on our money and our money on our mind. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I'm Kristen Bryan. The one and the only D-O-double-G was in Milwaukee this weekend. And not only did he had a show here that I had multiple friends who were very excited to go see.
Yes.
But he was had a concert Saturday night as part of the Potawatomi Casino's Amplified series. But he was also at the Brewers game.
Yes, he threw out the first pitch, which he did get across the plate. You know, it's
You're always
daunting,
a little nervous for these people.
Very daunting task. But then he also sat in the booth because Snoop aspires to another career.
And I've heard him do some stuff with the Manning brothers, and so I've heard him do.
He knows
some
sports.
Improv game calling, but never for the Brewers. And yet here he was.
I came in where the players come in at, because I'm a player. Get up in there. Oh, he's safe. He can't throw that. He ain't got no arm like that. No, he don't.
He does, though.
No, he don't.
Oh, he does.
Who is that with that rocket?
Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh, Lord.
With a howitzer.
He got a rocket in his pocket.
Oh, Lord.
He does have a rocket in his pocket, which could be taken a number of ways, but Snoop was having fun.
He had a great time. And I think that would be very fun to have more Snoop. Snoop-infused game calling. I think there's probably some listeners who would not like it, but I would be very entertained.
I like Snoop as like the color analyst. You've got the play-by-play guy who's going to be very straight and down the down the middle, give you all the information, and then you got a guy like Snoop going, "Oh Lord, he can't make that throw. He made that throw.
Rocket in his pocket."
I would love that.
All
a little
right.
more pizzazz and get younger people back into baseball.
Back in the game. All right, when we come back, we got spinning around the state. This is Spanning the State.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
How does 1.9% 66-month financing plus a $2,000 factory flex buy bonus cash sound on a new 2023 Ford F-150? Hi, I'm Susan Hiller, and that is just one of the special offers this month at Hiller Ford. If a pre-owned vehicle is in your plans, well, you're in luck. To celebrate our 70-year anniversary, we are including a 2-year maintenance plan on every one of our pre-owned vehicles. Stop in and see why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Now's when the summer heat is working your AC system into overtime. And after this long, it may be on borrowed time. But some of these systems really can't last, especially Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your AC system says its final goodbye, think of the man in the red van and the over 60 years of experience that Quality Heating brings to your home. To get your new Armstrong Air Pro Series AC system installed right and right away.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you have over 20 HVAC techs working with you that each have over 20 years of experience, it gives you confidence to be able to go out there and talk reliability, integrity, value, all the things that matter when you hire someone to get the job done right the first time. These words mean everything to us, and we know they mean a lot to you. And that's what you'll get when you hire the man in the red van.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Hi, I'm Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford. Do you want to catch a great deal on one of our remaining 2023 vehicles? Well, we have 28 in stock, including those hard-to-find Ford Super Duties. We have a great selection, but we plan on moving them out fast. We have special pricing on every single one of them. We also want your trade-in, so we're willing to give you top dollar for it. Why don't you stop in today? Check out our deals and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Tonight, the Brewers are in Anaheim to take on the Los Angeles Angels.
And a fly ball to center. This is unloaded. It is back and tie game.
Our coverage of the game begins tonight at 8:03 on your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock and 89 degrees in Milwaukee. Mostly sunny, hot, humid, a high of 95. Heat index will feel like 98 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear and muggy. The low will be 73 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Julia Fellow. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brian Isnansky says you can expect heat index values to hit near 100 today due to tropical dew points.
Dew points, again, in the 60s, so there is some humidity to the air, and I do think we do work our way back up to around a dew point of 70, which starts to get in that steamy territory. More of the same for tomorrow as far as humidity goes. Humidity backs off a little bit Wednesday and Thursday, but kind of lingers.
Your other top story, a 2-year-old child struck and killed by a car at McGovern Park.
The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says it happened around 6:30 Sunday evening. A witness who was at the park when it happened tells TMJ4 News the driver initially tried to leave the scene.
I saw her trying to get in the car, but by the time she could have got in the car, they caught her, whooped her, hit her, all type of stuff. That means she couldn't really go nowhere.
The Sheriff's Office did say they will provide an update with more information, but have not confirmed if any arrests were made or offered any more details about the crash. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The owner of a popular brewery and restaurant in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood filed for bankruptcy days after abrupt closure this month. Federal court records show that company brewing owner George Breger filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy proceedings at the end of last month. Business debts over $1.8 million. The brewery's online website is still live, offering $1 canned beer purchases for pickup. Taking a look at your Top Chef finale. It's this week. The champion could be a Wisconsinite. Chef Dan Jacobs has made it all the way to the last episode.
Of a season that's lacked some personality, I think he's been kind of the most flavorful person of the season. So I wouldn't be surprised if they ask and he says yes, if he were to come back for a Top Chef All-Star season. So if he wins this season, I don't think he would have to.
The final episode premieres Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is up 180, S&P 500 up 49, NASDAQ up 213. Inflation is not going away. Download your copy of Safeguarding Against Inflation, Strategies for Wealth Preservation at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time at 2:03.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, Dylan, have you seen Jeff Sherman? We're supposed to get lunch and check out some of the concerts.
I think he's at Yield. You know, that cosmic corn maze experience.
All right, where am I? Well, come on. How do I get out of here?
Join WTMJ at Summerfest as we broadcast live all 3 weekends from our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio. It's Summerfest 2024, and we're there live all fest long. on WTMJ.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost, free tire repair, and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Buy one or a whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
At Fleet Farm, we know every sunny day doesn't begin and end with us. But if it did, we've got you covered. Everyday fishing gear from Rapala, Berkeley, and Minn Kota. Everyday grilling goods from Weber, Kingsford, and Blackstone. Everyday camping gear from Coleman, Yeti, and Eureka. Whatever makes your day, we're right there with you. At Fleet Farm, we've got everything you need for everyday life.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brew Crew in California tonight for the first of 3 against the Angels. Coverage starts at 8 o'clock tonight right here on WTMJ. Tonight in Boston, Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Celtics hold a 3-1 lead over Dallas. Taking a look at your roads, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Big backups on the ramp from Beecher Street to I-43-94 South right now. Looks like there is a crash. A disabled vehicle exit to Holly Hill Road from 41-45 South, and everything else looks good.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, really hot today and humid. High of 95. Heat index makes it feel like 98. Tonight, mainly clear and muggy, a low of 73. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot, and humid. A slight chance of storms. The high will be 92. Wednesday, partly cloudy, very warm and humid. More chance of thunderstorms, a high of 82. Thursday, partly cloudy, high of 80 at the lake, 86 inland. Friday, partly cloudy, hot and humid, a chance of thunderstorms. The high will be 90 degrees. In Madison, the current temperature is 90 degrees, Green Bay 89, and Milwaukee 89. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 2:06.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Yes, it is. After 2 o'clock, that means we take a spin around the state and cover some Wisconsin stories that you might have missed. If you want all the details on said stories, you can text SPIN, S-P-I-N, to 855-616-1620, and you will get a link to all the stories. So do that. You can also go to WTMJ.com, the Spanning the State page, and you can get our podcast. You can read the stories here, or you can text now, SPIN, to 855-616-1620. The choice is yours. Let's get started, Kristen.
All right, let's go.
Madison.
Oh, boy. Madison, the World Naked Bike Ride happened Saturday.
Woo!
That's right. More than 100 nude cyclists were up at the crack of dawn in Madison on Saturday to participate in the World Naked Bike Ride. Last year, the ride exposed itself to some controversy after a 10-year-old girl participated in the event with her family. That caused the state legislature to take up a bill to put an end to the event, but those measures came up short, so the ride was back on. Despite the controversy, one participant told Channel3000.com, "We're just trying to have a fun community event. Try to look at it in a positive light." I'm going to try not to look at it at all.
I can't imagine you would ever be game for a naked bike ride.
There's a lot of things that I would do naked. Bike riding is not one of them.
That's what I feel like. A naked walk? Fine.
Sure.
Naked bike ride?
Naked swim, fantastic. No, naked bike ride is just, no.
It feels uncomfortable. For more reasons than one.
There's a lot of reasons that it is not a good look, not good. But there you go.
There you go. So again, don't yuck people's yum.
Yeah, if you want to ride naked and your family, they're saying, oh, we should celebrate everybody's body and it's all about safety. And some people ride because to protest oil, like in your clothes. Okay, but yeah, so good on you.
All right, let's go. Let's see the next one.
Fenimore.
Fenimore. Sounds like a band name.
It does.
Sure, it's an honor to be nominated, but let's be honest, it's better to win.
Correct.
And that could be the feeling at Southwest Wisconsin Technical College. The school was named as one of 10 finalists for the Aspen Prize. The Aspen Prize is awarded every 2 years and honors schools in 6 categories, among them teaching and learning, as well as transfer and bachelor's attainment. The winner will be announced in spring 2025. In a twist, one of the other finalists in Northeast Wisconsin Technical College. So let the interstate trash talk commence.
Southwest versus Northeast.
Yeah.
The Technical College supremacy. It'll be exciting to watch. We'll be taking action on it. I don't know the odds yet, but we'll. If you want to place a wager, why not? We'll do it.
Why not? All right, let's see where we're going next.
Milwaukee.
Oh, it's summer in Milwaukee. That means lots of festivals, from Summerfest, the big one, to a lot of little neighborhood festivals. And sometimes these festivals start to feel a little familiar. This year, there is a new summer concert series coming to town with a decidedly different look. It's a new free concert series. It's coming to the Lakeshore for 4 Wednesdays starting July 10th. There's going to be great music, all of that, sure. Beautiful beach locations, food vendors, tie-dyeing, a lot more. The real draw is going to be fluorescent cephalopod tentacles.
What?
You heard me right. Fluorescent cephalopod tentacles. These are original pieces created by Milwaukee's Fuzz Pop Workshop.
Ooh.
They are 30-foot-long tentacles that will wave in the breeze over these concerts that are taking place at a couple different beaches. Again, on 4 different Wednesdays. It's all free. Listen to music. Do whatever it is to enhance your enjoyment of giant tentacles waving over your head. It sounds trippy. It sounds great. If you want more details, again, you can text SPIN to 855-616-1620.
And that's the same organization. Fuzz Pop Workshop is the same group that's doing the corn maze, the iridescent corn maze at Summerfest, which you are going to get to walk through tomorrow night.
I will be there tomorrow night and report back, and then we will, of course, be there. So you will be able to enjoy it on Thursday or Friday and Thursday and Friday.
I have to imagine that's more fun at night, though.
That's
But you'll let me know.
I'll be. Well, yeah, but it's it's still when the sun is out. They're like, oh, come at night. It's 7:30.
Fair.
7:30. All right, we'll see.
All right. Well,
last
both
destination.
Sound good.
They do sound good.
Last destination for spinning today.
Nina.
Juneteenth.
That's right.
Is Wednesday, and it is the holiday created to commemorate the end of slavery in the United States. This year, Winnebago County employees will be honoring the day with 2 separate observations. The first one will take place at noon on the steps of Winnebago County Courthouse, and the second will be at 4 p.m. at the Nina Humane Services Building. The event will feature the reading of the Emancipation Proclamation and Galveston General Orders Number 3, which informed Galveston, Texas, of the end of slavery on June 19th, 65?
65.
Oh. I thought it was later. I thought that was the whole point, that it was a year later.
I'm just going by the story. It could have been, listen, I'm going to blame the Oshkosh Northwestern if this is any problem. Hold on. I'm looking. It's actually the first year that the Winnebago County employees will be celebrating that. 1865.
Oh.
Again.
All right, there you go.
Yes.
I don't know why I thought it was a different date.
I don't know. Trying to catch me in a lie, but I will not be caught or catched. All right, that's it. If you missed any of Spinning the State, which we do every day after the 2 o'clock news, text SPIN to 855-616-1620 or go to WTMJ.com, where you can find on the Spanning the State page all of our podcasts, all of the Spinning the State episodes, everything you need to know. When we come back, it's National Mascot Day, and one Wisconsin mascot has a very unique place in the pantheon of mascots. So we'll talk about that and more at Spanning the State.
Back for the first time in 2 years for his Sun Goes Down 2024 tour, it's Kenny Chesney.
Everything gets hotter when the sun goes down, yeah.
Returning to AmFam Field Saturday, June 22nd.
Summertime is finally here. That old ballpark man is back in gear.
Listen all day to WTMJ for your chance to win tickets. It's Kenny Chesney at AmFam Field Saturday, June 22nd.
Thank you so much, everybody.
For your next exterior remodeling project, we know you're not asking a lot from us. You want the right products for your situation, you want a few different financing options that can make your project affordable, and you want us to do a good job with minimal disruption to your life. And this one's important. You want a warranty that matters. And we know that checking every box makes all the difference. You might be surprised at how many moving parts go into it, but we have just the right people in all the right places to pull that off every day and make it look easy. The company we have took us 21 years to build. It's an awesome place to work because we never stop improving it, and we think we can do this work so well that we can actually change the reputation of exterior remodelers long term. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
And I am Brian Noonan, and I don't know if you know this, Kristen, today is National Mascot Day.
I did not know
A
that it was
celebration
National
of
Mascot
all
Day.
the mascots. Where do you fall on mascots? Are you pro or con?
Who's con
A
mascot?
lot of people are con mascot. They're dead inside. They don't like the frivolity. They think sports is serious business, and if you've got somebody running around in a costume, it takes away from the overall gravitas of the event.
Do you really know people who hate mascots?
I do know people who hate
wow.
mascots.
Ugh.
I didn't say
Don't
I
wanna
like
know them.
I didn't say I like them. I
No,
said
yeah.
I know them.
I'm pro.
I am
I'm
pro
pro-mascot.
too. So I celebrate them. Did you know that there is also a mascot hall of fame?
I did not know there was a mascot Hall of Fame.
There is. It was founded by the guy who was the original Philly fanatic.
Okay.
From 1978 to 1993. He started it out online, but then he moved to a building in Whiting, Indiana.
Okay.
And he started inducting these mascots. Well, the reason I'm talking about this today is because our own Bucky Badger is one of only 10 NCAA mascots that have been inducted into the hall. He was there in the first class that got inducted as for the NCAA when they opened it to NCAA.
Do we know much about what the criteria is
Yes.
in order to be inducted?
Of course we do.
Okay.
I like to research. Every year, a committee is made up of performers, sports execs, and, quote, other individuals intimate with the mascot community, end quote. I don't know how intimate you have to. Speaking of intimate with the mascot community, oh, she left.
Well, no, because we talked about this. There is Rhea. Rhea has her own story,
right?
But there's a comedian, Hannah
Yes.
Bernier, who went to UW-Madison. Who I think she has a bit about it.
Okay.
But she certainly said it on Charlie Barron's Cripescast podcast about while she was a Badger.
Yes.
She was hooking up with Bucky Badger. Or
nice.
I don't know if he wore the costume or not, but it was like she talked about how it was a secret and it was a big deal.
I don't know the particulars. I don't need to know the particulars. All I can say is if whoever you are that you are hooking up with a mascot, they must wear the head or it doesn't count as hooking up with a mascot. Then you're just hooking up with a person who wears a costume. It's like a furry convention. Anyway, so the people intimate with the community decide on 6 finalists. Then it's a public online vote. To be eligible for the Mascot Hall of Fame, a mascot must have existed a minimum of 10 years inspire their fans, and consistently give memorable and groundbreaking performances. And in 2006, that was when Bucky Badger took his rightful spot in the Hall of Fame. Alongside Auburn's Aubie the Tiger, Delaware's UD, those were also added that day. Recently, Southpaw, the Chicago White Sox, a fuzzy green dude who is not in the NCAA, but Otto the Orange, which is Syracuse's mascot, has been inducted lately.
Okay. I actually didn't know the White Sox had a mascot.
The White Sox have had a lot of really bad mascots over the years. Southpaw I like because he kind of looks like Oscar the Grouch, but he's friendly and he's wearing a Sox uniform. And I've had my picture taken with Southpaw. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've also had my picture taken with Mr. Moon and Traveler the Bear of the Asheville Tourists. I enjoy the mascot.
I just looked up what Southpaw looks like. He kind of reminds. Who's the Phillies hockey?
Gritty.
Gritty. I want to call him. Yes, he kind of reminds me of Gritty.
Gritty came after Southpaw, but yes, they do have a similar.
I feel like Gritty's more famous now.
Of course, Gritty is more famous because the Flyers are a much better team than the White Sox.
Fair.
So of course, Gritty is going to be the one who gets all the attention. But what is your? We'd love to hear your favorite mascot. It could be college, it could be pro, it could be this. I did not realize that the Packers do not have a mascot.
Do not have a mascot.
Which seems odd after, being one of the founding franchises. But again, football serious business in Green Bay. Maybe a giant block of cheese. Greeny the moldy cheese.
We do wear cheese on our heads, so I'm not sure it's that serious.
Well, but why wouldn't there be a mascot?
Well, maybe someone will know.
Well, we'll find out. All right. Somebody probably does know. And if you want to jump in, 855-616-1620. That is the WTMJ Talk and Text line. Let's take a quick break. Then there's more on Spending the State.
The Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi.
He can't absolve himself from this. And last time I checked, and I know I'm pontificating here, a felon has...
It's your show.
Yeah, exactly. Turn their mics off. No, I'm just kidding.
Hearing from political experts from across Wisconsin and beyond.
Judge Marchand could say home confinement, which means he can't campaign at all.
He's not going to do that.
What is he going to do? What is he going to do?
Weekdays from 9 to 10 on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved, but that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hey, WTMJ's Sean Mercure here. It was time to paint the outside of our house, and I was overwhelmed. I really wasn't looking forward to it. Thank goodness I got in touch with CertaPro Painters, each business independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. They made it easy. They were quick. They were efficient. They were friendly and fun. It's CertaPro Painters. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. My home has never looked better, literally. I couldn't be happier. It's CertaPro Painters. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. Whether you're headed across town or across the country, we get you tires and batteries, trust and care during our summer tire sale. Right now, select tires, buy 3, get 1 free. Rewards members get an extra $25 instant savings on any set of 4. New Blaine's brand windshield wash, $2.49 a gallon. Fram oil filters, 15% off for rewards members. And McGuire's exterior spray finishes, $10.99. Tires and batteries, trust and care at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Ready to tackle that honey-do list? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets. Spring cleaning time. My friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets want to help you calm the chaos. Inspired Closets will transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. They come out for a free visit and use their 3D software to tailor a space specific to you. Right now, get 10% off or 18 months free financing. Contact them today for more details. Tell them Vinny sent you. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
The Packers also don't have cheerleaders.
A lot of teams have done away with cheerleaders, but I know some still do. Well, Dallas still does. I think San Diego has cheerleaders, but I don't pay attention. I like the mascots, especially here on National Mascot Day. We're asking your favorite mascot because Bucky Badger is one of only 10 NCAA mascots in the National Mascot Hall of Fame, which is in Whiting, Indiana. Somebody texted in they remember the San Diego Chicken. The Chicken was one of the 3 inaugural mascots put into the Hall of Fame. The Philly Fanatic, the Suns Gorilla, and the San Diego Chicken were the initial class. But why don't the Packers have a mascot? Well, I'm sure some of you remember in the 80s that they did have a mascot for a short period of time. Packy Packer.
And he was glorious.
I do not recall Packy Packer, but he is he's like a butcher. He's got because that was the whole thing.
Sausage-carrying, bearded foam giant.
And he's got giant feet, and he was not well received because, the guy who played him had to leave one game because of heat exhaustion from the costume, which makes sense. But then he went on Forrest Gregg's weekly television show and claimed that, quote, most of the people who are Packers fans are short, fat butchers with big feet. That did not sit well with the fan base. And so Packy the Packer was discontinued. There also was a guy he was the unofficial mascot known as Gangrene. He was from Oshkosh. He had been allowed on the field previous to Packy's arrival in Green Bay. Then when Packy was on there, Gangrene got pushed aside. A lot of turmoil, a lot of drama. So he would just roam the stands like a nomadic mascot with nowhere to go. He was like Kung Fu. He just sought to walk his path. And then, they got rid of Gangrene. Packy was gone. 86, they got rid of the cheerleaders too. During the 90s, they would have college cheerleaders come in sometimes and take the cheerleaders' place. But listen, the Packers are focused on one thing: football. They don't need a fat foam butcher running around. They don't need some guy from Oshkosh painted green running around or cheerleaders distracting everybody. Plus, I would imagine if you've been to a game at Lambeau in December, if you don't want to be a cheerleader up there.
No.
I'm sure the cheerleaders were not that upset.
I'm sure, yeah, I think they're doing fine.
We're sad during September and October to not be cheering, but then it's okay.
It's okay. There's enough energy and enthusiasm and in that stadium.
You went to Berkeley. Did they have? I know Berkeley is known for their brains and their
it's
policy.
Bears. We're the Bears.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it what kind of bear?
You ever heard of Go Bears?
No. Oh. Well, I have heard of Go Bears, but I don't like to bring it up here.
Wrong Go Bears. But no, we are. What? And now this is every once in a while. I still have mom brain.
Yeah.
And there's like things that Oski the bear.
Oski the bear?
Oski the bear.
Wow.
Took me a while to get there, but
What is Oski? Is that a name? Was he kind of bear? Or I don't think there's an Oski type bear.
But yeah,
that was his name.
But it's interesting because then there also UCLA is the Bruins, which is also kind of bear. I forgot what their mascot is, but yeah, Go Bears is Cal Bears when I say it, not
Cal Bear?
I never say Go Bears as in the people south of us.
Okay,
ever.
You say Cal Bears. I got you. All right, we have a Saluki mascot at SIU, but they don't have names. There's 2 of them. One is light tan and the other's brown, and they're wearing football jerseys and stuff, but they don't have names. They're fine. They were not. They weren't there really. They were there when I was there, but. Yeah.
Did you ever have any aspirations to be a mascot? Like when you were ever growing up, being like, I want to be that guy. I don't want to be the player. I want to be the mascot.
Because I watched as a little kid, I watched the Notre Dame Leprechaun all the time.
Okay.
And I'm like, there is no way that I'm going to do that many push-ups ever in my life. You get these high-scoring games, the Leprechaun and he's doing push-ups on top of cheerleaders' arms. I'm like, these guys are nuts, Well,
what if I told you could make hundreds of thousands of dollars being a mascot? Would you consider it then?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
All
I'd
right,
put on a fuzzy costume right now. Leave you for the rest of the show.
The average salary of a North American mascot for any of the major leagues, because I think the college teams, those are all just college students. I'm not sure they get paid. If they do, it's probably not very much. So the average is $65,000 a year, which, median. It's about the median wage in the United States. But what if I told you that, at least this was earlier this year, what do you think the number one highest paid mascot makes every year in the United States?
I'll double the base. I'll say like $130,000.
Rocky, the mountain lion for the Denver Nuggets, makes $625,000 a year.
Wow.
Being a mascot.
Really?
After that, Harry the Hawk makes $600,000. Okay. Benny the Bull for Chicago
Benny
Bills,
the Bull, very popular.
$400,000. Wally the Green Monster for Boston Red Sox, $250,000. And Go the Gorilla for Phoenix Suns, $200,000. So
that's amazing.
Good aspirations of money to be made if you are the top of your field.
Listen, if your kid is taking gymnastics, might I say, screw the Olympics. Head to Mascot Land, because that's where the money is. When we come back, we'll be talking about lawyers, and guess what? There's a shortage, but ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. An Oval Office meeting today between President Biden and NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby says the White House is comfortable with the alliance's current strategic posture around the world.
Look, we're a NATO ally, and we talk to our NATO allies all the time about what readiness looks like, what posture needs to look like, and how we can all be better postured to meet our Article 5 commitments.
Wildfires burning out of control in California, including one in the mountains north of Los Angeles. Meanwhile, record heat baking the Midwest today and the Northeast by tomorrow. The Israeli military announcing a tactical pause on fighting in parts of Gaza to allow more aid trucks in. This as Israel's war cabinet falls apart, disbanded by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after key centrist members, two of them, resigned over the handling of the Hamas war. In an op-ed, the Surgeon General says warning labels should be put on social media over concerns about young people's mental health. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time at 2:31. We are close to hitting a record temperature today. The highest recorded temperature for this state in Milwaukee is 94 degrees. The added humidity will make it feel today close to 98 degrees. More than 260 million Americans will experience temperatures above 90 this week. Stay hydrated and limit your time outdoors. Former UW lacrosse chancellor Joe Gao finds out this week whether he keeps his faculty status. He was removed as chancellor in December after the Board of Regents discovered that he and his wife created sex tapes and posted them on porn websites. He still has tenured faculty status. The Wauwatosa School District will consider a proposed $60 million referendum today. It's aimed to bring their elementary schools into compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The referendum is part of a bigger proposal that includes plans to close both Whitman and Longfellow middle schools. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 224, S&P 500 up 54, NASDAQ up 230. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. All right, taking a look at your roads with the WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Wisconsin 55 up north closed in both directions right now from Wisconsin Avenue to Sarah Avenue due to an incident. We're trying to find out what that incident is, but it does not look good at this time. People are getting off of Wisconsin Highway before Wisconsin Avenue and also before Sarah Avenue. Not good. In Kenosha County, 94 North, just beyond Highway 50, the right shoulder is blocked because of a disabled vehicle. We see some slowdowns there, but it is still moving. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny, hot and humid, high of 95. Heat index makes it feel near 100. Tonight, mainly clear and muggy, a low of 73. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot and humid, a chance of thunderstorms, 92. Wednesday, partly cloudy, very warm and humid, 82. Thursday, partly cloudy, a chance of thunderstorms, a high of 80 at the lake, 86 inland. Friday, really hot, 90 degrees, hot and humid. The current temperature in Milwaukee is 89 degrees. In Madison, it's 90. And Green Bay, it's 89. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:33.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit fredert.com/cancer.
Here's a penny for your thoughts. There's about 11,000 tire-related crashes every year.
Mostly due to driving around on underinflated, beat-up, worn-out tires with low tread.
A couple of clicks at richlawns.com will get you scheduled for a free tire tread test.
But if you're pressed for time, there's an old trick we use in the tire industry that'll tell you if you need tires.
And that's free too.
My dad showed me, who learned it from his dad, who learned it from someone else way back in 1964.
Ah, yes. The old penny test.
Yep, just place a penny head first.
As in upside down.
Into the groove of your tire. Now, if you can see the top of Lincoln's head, you're due for tires.
And hey, if the free penny test frazzles you, book an appointment at richlawns.com.
If your tires are good,
no harm, no foul, because it won't cost you a penny. Be safe, buckle up, and hang. Always make sure you've got good tread in your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're
due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Rich Lawns.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
And I'm Brian Noonan. And in our ongoing quest to highlight shortages in every field in Wisconsin, well, guess what? There's an attorney shortage in Wisconsin. I know that might sound hard to believe. It was hard for me to believe, but the Wisconsin Supreme Court has actually formed a committee to find solutions to the state's attorney shortage, which is hitting rural areas especially hard, which, as we've seen, the pattern, rural areas are hit hardest by most of these staffing shortages. The committee is made up of representatives from the State Bar of Wisconsin, attorneys and judges from across the state, and deans at the state's 2 law schools. And judges will kind of oversee and be the point of attack, the tip of the spear. The number of active attorneys has decreased in Wisconsin by more than 4% in the last 4 years. Enrollment at the 2 law schools has decreased over the last 5 years. The most recent budget, though, did include pay raises for public defenders and prosecutors, but that's not curing the problem. It's not all about money. The State Bar of Wisconsin has been repeatedly warning that the shortage was reaching a constitutional crisis. It was more pronounced in rural counties. 2021 report found that half of the attorneys are in the most populous counties, and that 7 counties in northern Wisconsin have no certified attorneys to handle cases that state public defenders can't.
That's wild.
7 counties without a certified attorney.
I know.
It's nuts. So we're going to take a quick break and come back, and we're going to be joined by the president of the State Bar of Wisconsin to discuss how we got to this point, what can be done to remedy this. Dean Dietrich will join us after this on Spanning the State.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperFiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Sharks. Most people see them as a threat, but we see a potential cure. At UW Health Carbone Cancer Center, we're the only team in the world researching whether antibodies from sharks can be used to fight cancer. A discovery that would revolutionize the future of cancer care, turning possibilities into remarkable realities. So one day, instead of what if, we can ask what's next. UW Health Carbone Cancer Center. Remarkable.
I joke around and with my wife and call it my bionic knee.
But before Ernest became a patient with QC Kinetics, it was a different story.
I'd go to bed with my knee throbbing, heat, ice. I would get up in the middle of the night to get a drink or something, and I would just be hobbling.
He wasn't able to play on his rec basketball team or work in the yard. But QC Kinetics regenerative treatments turned around the situation without surgery or downtime, using Ernest's own healing properties to help restore his aching knee, now known as Ernest's bionic knee.
I am really happy because I am playing the game that I love so much, and I'm playing with my granddaughter, and I'm gardening, and I'm on my knees, and I'm jumping up. I have a 200-pound dog, and I'm playing with my dog.
Now Ernest is living his best life thanks to QC Kinetics, and so can you. Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
And I'm Brian Noonan. And as I mentioned before the break, we were talking about the attorney shortage here in Wisconsin and the fact that 7 northern Wisconsin counties do not have enough certified attorneys to take cases that the state public defenders can't. The State Bar of Wisconsin has been ringing the bell, warning about this for a long time. How did we get to this point? Dean Dietrich is the president of the State Bar of Wisconsin, and he joins us now on Spanning the State. Dean, thanks for taking some time today.
Glad to be here with you.
Okay, so you guys at the State Bar of Wisconsin have been sending this alarm saying, hey, this attorney shortage is getting serious. How did it get to this far and reach a crisis level?
Well, there's a lot of factors that come into play when assessing this and trying to figure out exactly how this happened. Some of it is the high cost of education. So law students, graduates, thinking they got to stay in the big cities to earn higher incomes. A lot of concern about the number of cases that are in the rural areas versus the downtown areas, the heavily populated areas. A lot of factors, some of it having to do with, certainly this was before COVID, but with COVID, people not being as interested in going on to law school. So a lot of factors come into play. And it's really harmful to rural areas, not just because we can't find lawyers to represent clients in criminal matters, but to represent clients in civil matters, real estate, estate planning, all of those areas. It's really putting a bind on a lot of people being able to find and obtain a lawyer to help them with their needs.
And is that why you would describe it as approaching a constitutional crisis versus just, I guess, your run-of-the-mill crisis, because it actually is impeding people's ability to be represented?
What some people say that this is a constitutional crisis because we can't get lawyers who will represent indigent clients in criminal matters, and therefore they don't have a right or they aren't able to get representation for their criminal proceeding in a timely manner. That is a concern, and there are challenges out there to the timeliness of criminal matters being prosecuted and being heard by the court because of the unavailability of lawyers to represent the defendant. But again, it's also really a consumer crisis because there's many people that aren't able to get proper representation to satisfy their civil needs as well as their criminal law needs.
So besides the timeliness of defense or prosecution and helping people with their consumer stuff, what are the other big dangers if this crisis continues and we get fewer and fewer attorneys?
Well, we're getting to a point almost where it's hard to retain lawyers both on the prosecution side and on the defense side in criminal matters. And there you get to the question also where we don't have district attorneys to prosecute cases. And that could create a matter of public safety. But it's really, when you deal with civil matters and people that, for example, have a loss in their family and they need to work with a lawyer in order to resolve the estate issues, all of those are emergencies to the individuals involved, and it truly becomes a crisis if these legal matters can't be resolved.
Is this, I don't know how much you know about other states, but is this unique to Wisconsin or is this a national trend?
No, this is not unique to Wisconsin at all. As president of the State Bar of Wisconsin, I've been working with the presidents of all of the states around us to address this issue, as have the court systems in all the states around us. And it's not just the Midwest. For example, I just talked recently with a public defender in Vermont who had the same problem of finding lawyers that are able to take cases or want to take cases. So it is a national concern, but particularly a problem in the rural areas of the Midwest.
So how is the shortage affecting the active attorneys that are well active? Is there burnout? What's going on with them?
Well, that's a great question, and you kind of hit on it. Really, there gets to be two distinct issues. One is burnout. One is the problem of lawyers being almost forced by the court to take cases that they cannot handle because they live in the more popularized areas of the state and may have to drive up to Superior area, for example, for a 15 or 20 minute court hearing. So it gets to be a real taxing thing for the lawyers if they take the case, and it really puts tremendous pressure on the lawyers that live in these rural communities to be taking cases sometimes in an area of law that they're not familiar with.
So, Dean,
that's not good.
as far as the different levers that are available to change this trend, I know that in the budget last year there was raises, right? There was prosecutors and public defenders got a raise. Are we seeing any impact with more money? And if it's not going to be more money, what are some of the other avenues to try to recruit more people?
Right. Well, first of all, the legislature did step up and adopt some new compensation schemes for public defenders and assistant district attorneys, and that has helped up to a point. There are still counties in the western part of Wisconsin, the northwest part of Wisconsin, which that do not have an assistant district attorney. They may have an elected district attorney, and that elected district attorney may be even a part-time public official, and we don't have assistants that can help with the workload. The challenge becomes the amount of workload and the quality of the representation, both on the side of the prosecutor and on the side of the defense attorney. You're having so many cases that they're not able to put in the time to prepare the cases before they are presented to the court for some type of action. So there's a lot of challenge with burnout. We really are working very hard to help educate lawyers as to the successes they can have living in a smaller community, the, frankly, enjoyment they can have from a very varied practice in a local community. So we're doing a lot of things to help the law schools educate about what we call the rural practice and the legal desert that we have throughout the state.
And this is something we're seeing in a lot of different fields, Dean, right? Where in the rural communities, the young people are just leaving. So is it a matter of not only trying to attract younger, newer attorneys, but maybe people who are getting toward the few years away from retirement going, hey, you could end your career in a nice, quiet little place?
Well, that's right. We're looking to again, show the opportunities that exist for and you can extend your practice, by the way, right, going to a smaller town and doing different types of practices. But you also make the point that this is a community problem. Dentists, engineers, physicians, it's a community problem that we need to engage with the communities to talk about how we show that rural communities can be a very successful place to be a professional, whether it be in the legal profession or the dentistry profession or the medical profession. And it is something that is tremendously important for these rural communities in order to have a good quality of life for everyone in the community.
Well, makes sense. Dean, we appreciate your time this afternoon. Good luck making that sales pitch to these to the young attorneys and the older ones. Again, we appreciate your time. Look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you very much. Take care.
That's Dean Dietrich. He's the president of the State Bar of Wisconsin. Maybe you remember this too. It seemed like it wasn't that long ago where there were so many people coming out of law school. There was more.
I feel like that's what the recession decision was in 2008. It's like, I don't have a job right now. I'll go to law school.
Right, and there were more people in law school than there were active lawyers. Everybody was going to law school, and then Dean made a good point. All of a sudden, that cost of on top of your bachelor's degree debt, now you got law school debt. And I know, like at some of the big firms, first-year associates don't make the kind of money that it's going to pay off that kind of debt right away. So,
well, in general, I mean, that the going to corporate law, as far as I'll do this for a couple years and then I'll go be a public defender or go change the world. And it's a lot of times like that debt is high and the money is good, and so the attraction to stay in the private upper echelon is strong.
The big firms. All right, let's do this. Then we'll start wrapping things up. It's Spanning the State.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
What's your advice to parents who have kids who are maybe 7 years old and starting to play a sport?
Get to know what's going on in the community and businesses throughout Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
They will find their space. Let them find what their joy and love for whatever sport. And then don't make decisions that put your family in any financial burden.
Let them play. Kind of let them be kids. Don't try and live your life through them.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ.
Hey, boaters! This is Dave Dorrell from Kendor Marine. And hey, boaters love shopping here. How do I know? Well, most times it's because they tell me, Dave, I love shopping here. But other times it's because they tell you. If you need a reason to come here, just check out our online reviews. They tell the whole story. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water.
At Kendor Marine, we have everything you could want, think of, or wish for your boat. We're committed to making sure you always have a place to fulfill every boating need that you have. And if you ask around, you'll find out our prices always beat the other guys. This is Dave Dorrell from Kendor Marine. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything